Hello and welcome to the third and final video in my three-part series, which has been designed to run alongside the latest ASM launch. By this time you should have watched all of the three videos that Matt and Jason have released over the last week or so. And additionally, hopefully you've had a chance to look at the previous two videos which I released last week, which show you how I launched a product using the ASM training and how I went on to find a supplier in the US for my travel mug. So in this video, what I'm going to show you is the actual product listing page as it appears now on Amazon. It's really worth looking at Matt and Jason's latest video where they talk about how to optimize your product listing, how to maximize the quality of your images, etc. So we're going to see that. I'm then going to show you the key part, which I'm sure everyone's going to be interested in, and how I've actually managed to sell 100 or make 100 sales in only the first 5 weeks of launching this product with really hardly any reviews. I mean, up until a few days ago I think I had about 3. I've only got 6 now. But what's really interesting is that the branding and the presentation and even the few reviews that I've got, they are actually contributing to an increased number of sales every day. So for those that are wondering whether ASM works and whether they can choose a product and all the normal questions, this should hopefully give you a tremendous amount of confidence that you can take an ordinary product, brand it very, very simply, and start generating income and revenue within a very, very short space of time. I'm then going to show you what people are saying about my product and how it's been being received. I'm then going to talk about my keyword rankings in Amazon. Now, if you remember back in video 1, I showed you a keyword tool which I use. It's not actually part of the ASM training, but it's something which I found and I use with every single product that I launch. And we're going to see how even after only 4 or 5 weeks, I'm starting to get some really, really good rankings for some really competitive keywords in Amazon. Then I'm going to talk about what this means for you as someone that might be interested in joining me at ASM when the course launches later this week. And in that regard, I'm going to talk about the program and my own mentoring program which goes with it. So the first thing to do before we actually get into my product, look at the latest video. That's the third video which has been launched by Matt and Jason today. There's an opt-in box there where if you just put in your name and your email, you'll get an email with a link to this PDF. And it's a 9-step Amazon product launch and scale checklist. Now this is very, very useful. Once again, there's a lot of really good free information in here, and it really does give you an idea of the work and the approach that you'll have to take. It also gives you a clue as to some of the training that's inside the course. But it's really this type of approach that will start to contribute to some of your first sales. So do go ahead and get that and have a good read of it. And then let's move forward and have a look at my product. Well, here it is. If you want to see this yourself, if you just go to Amazon and type in, I think if you just type in the word American and Proud, I think it comes up, but if you type in American and Proud travel mug or something, there it is. Now this is a very good example of what your product listing will look like once you've actually optimized it according to the ASM training. And you can see here we've got a very, very large prominent main image, a very, very professional image. It's actually a 3D model or a render. It's not a photograph, unfortunately, of the product. And then I've got four other products, which you'll see because I'm trying to convey this patriotic idea of being American and proud, I managed to have my designer put the stars and stripes, the flag, the American flag, in the background. So every single picture contributes to the message that I'm trying to create, or the message that this product actually stands for. And then finally, and I always like to do this if I can, is I try and make the product a bit more personal by adding a picture of a happy person using the product. And there we see a businesswoman with a prominently displayed American and proud travel mug. And these types of pictures help to bring the product alive. We then got the title, and there's lots of keywords here. Now the value of these keywords are the fact that people tend to search for this type of product with any number or combination of these keywords. So without stuffing the keywords into the title, that's a fairly succinct product title. And then of course you've got these five benefits, and what I'd like to do here is draw attention to really what the main advantages or the main benefits are of the product. We call that the USP, your ultimate sales proposition. So it's a really good idea to have an idea, really why someone would buy your product. And then going further down, you can see that we have a product description, which again that's based on some basic copywriting skills. But I tend to focus on this top half, and because that's essentially what people see, and the only other thing really that people usually check up on are the reviews, but I will come to that later on. So that's the product. Now, let's take a look at the orders. Now, I launched this product in early March, and the first orders started to come through almost immediately. You can see here March the 7th, March the 8th. This is actually what your Amazon account will look like when you start to get orders for your product. You can see here March the 11th there were 2 sales. On March the 12th 2 more, 2 on March the 13th, none on the 14th, then there were 2 on the 15th, 1 on the 16th. So you can see in the first week or so 1 or 2 per day, and that's very, very normal. If we scroll down and we start looking at what's been happening more recently, you can see that as the product started to gain traction, we've actually started to increase sales. And the other thing I'm noticing here is that some people are actually buying more than 1 unit. So here on the 13th, which is 2 days ago, in fact it was yesterday, someone bought 4 and then someone else bought 3. Now this tells me that clearly my product at the price I had it, and I've had to increase it since, represented very, very good value. So I've actually increased the price by 40% since yesterday. And as I'll show you in a moment, people are still buying today at that price. But let's go back to the 12th. This was a good day. On the 12th of April, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sales on the 8th. Sorry, 8 sales on the 12th, I mean. On the 11th, there were 4. On the 10th, there were another 4. On the 9th, just 1. On the 8th, another 4. So you can see it's really starting to move forward. And this type of sales behavior or order behavior is very, very normal. If we go back to today, you can see that it's April the 14th, and already someone has bought 2 travel mugs at 5:42 a.m. that's Pacific time, and someone else bought another one at 6:40. So if you look at this, really in total that takes I think there's a couple of orders there, and going back here we've got 98. So that's pretty much 100 orders in just over 5 weeks, which is extremely good, and it proves my original point, which was that there's no need to be fearful of seemingly competitive markets. Larger markets mean that there are many, many people out there looking to buy this type of product, and our challenge with ASM is to go and grab ourselves a small and growing percentage of it. Now, those are the sales. Let's just take a look at what people are saying. So I'm going to go back to my listing and click on reviews, and there's some fantastic comments here. These are what we call reviews from Amazon verified purchases. So this appears when someone has actually purchased the product and then gone ahead and left a review. Now, I've got various techniques which I use to encourage reviews, and that's something which I'll be talking about in my own mentoring program. But this one was unsolicited, and this guy says, "This is a great travel mug. I just wish it was bigger." You can't please them all. "If the size is right for you, then get this. It does a great job of keeping my coffee hot compared to a thermos brand I have." Now, Thermos is the market leader. And if you remember the Profit Spotlight tool that I used to actually identify this type of product, you will remember that at number 90, I think it was, 90 or 91, the Thermos travel mug was in fact the leading bestseller. I think it had about 4,000 reviews. Then there's another one. "This is a quality coffee mug, keeps liquids hot for a good amount of time, even in the cold weather drive. We like it, and say good deal." So already people are making the right noises, which means, you know, when I selected the product, I made a fairly good assessment of its quality and its characteristics. And you know, these comments are proving that you know, I was right to select this type of product. So they're the reviews. Let's just have a look at the keyword rankings. Now, the way that people use Amazon is what they tend to do is they go into Amazon, and rather than searching through all these different categories and various sub options here, it's normal for people to come and search Amazon like they do Google. So the most generic and most competitive keyword for my product is the phrase travel mug. And here we are on, this is actually page 2. We scroll down, you can see I'm on page 2 here. But my product appears here. Now, for me, this is actually quite incredible. I really didn't expect to be ranking so well for this, well, the main keyword this quickly. But it's likely that if you check back over the next week or two, this keyword phrase is going to be somewhat higher. I expect it to move further up this page as we actually move forward and get more sales. So that's travel mug. Another search that I've tried is coffee travel mug. That's a slight variation. Again, we're on page 2, and if we just scroll down again, here it is again, about halfway down. Another phrase, insulated coffee mug. As you can see, there are very many different ways of searching for this product, which is why when we look at my product, which is why we've included these keywords in the title and the features and the description. So all this optimization is helping us to rank for this keyword. And you can see for insulated coffee mug, here I am at number 2. Now, it's not going to be long before this is on page 1. And if you want to see one on page 1 already, and this is very impressive for 4 or 5 weeks, type in coffee travel tumbler, alright, and on page 1 you should see me there, which is number, what's that? I think that's number 7. 7 on page 1, all ready for some quite decent high traffic keywords. Okay, so we can see how my travel mug is already starting to make some very, very decent sales inside a very, very short time. We already know that it's a very, very large market, and we also know that it's a product which is really forever going to be in demand. So the question is, what do we do next? Now, with the ASM training, what they actually teach you to do is to first of all get your product selling, and then to start to think about scaling. Now, what will happen is that as your product starts to rank better in Amazon, obviously your product's going to appear on the first page for some of the very, very high volume keyword searches. and that means that you'll naturally attract attention and you'll naturally convert some of that traffic to sales. Now, the only thing that's missing from this particular puzzle are reviews. Now, you will find that some of the best-selling products do tend to have hundreds, and in some cases, as we've seen, thousands of reviews. Now, my next strategy is to basically increase the number of reviews for this product to over 100. Now, for those that join me with ASM, I have a strategy which only in the last 3 or 4 weeks has really started to come to fruition and pay some dividends. Now, I can pretty much guarantee that anyone that works with me with ASM, I'll be able to get you probably over 100 reviews off the bat for any product that you launch. Now, that's not in the ASM program. They give you various strategies and techniques to attract reviews. And in my early experience, I have to say I found it quite difficult to encourage people to rate the product or leave an opinion. But I've come up with something where, and I really mean that, I can guarantee that you'll get at least 100, possibly more, 100, 150, probably within a month of launching your product. Now, if you can do that, that's really going to put your product in the shop window. So I'm in the process of doing that. And my strategy, once I've got the keyword rankings, and once I've got more social proof and more people positively rating my product, my strategy is to slowly increment the price. Now, I've got a target price of about $18, something like that. You've already seen how I've increased it to $14.95 yesterday. But just making some pretty logical assumptions on where we could be in the next month or two. I'd be expecting to be making probably around 20 sales a day of this product at my target price of about $18, and that should give me daily revenue of around $360 per day. Now, if you multiply that by the 30 days that on average there are in each month, you can see that product could easily be generating monthly revenue of $10,800. And if we annualize that and look at what it means over a year, we're talking about revenue being just under $130,000 just for a very, very simple travel mug. Now, you can see if I was to launch another model and use the same brand, the same American and Proud logo, we could probably do more or less the same thing. It might sell a little bit better, it might sell a little bit worse. But I think if I was doing it again, I'd probably be looking for a travel mug with more features, something that kept the coffee hotter for longer, that was a bit more, spill proof or leak proof, something that had more features and characteristics and was probably a bit higher quality. That way I could probably charge around the $20 level or even a little bit higher. And you can see if I kept on doing that, and by the end of the year I'd made a conscious effort to launch a product or a new travel mug every month, I might have 12 travel mugs and they'd all be generating something similar. You can see very, very quickly by attacking a big market, you could end up with a really impressive business. Okay, well, hopefully you can see that the strategies and the training in the ASM program clearly works. Now, I can 100% vouch for the fact that it does. I should add that there are quite a few others who obviously joined during the first and the second rounds of ASM last year, and some people are doing extremely well. I mean, there are guys there already up to over 100,000 a month, and in one or two cases I think there's some people even earning $250,000 a month. So it's a program which, once you begin to understand it and work at it, it's infinitely scalable. Now, you probably got some questions that relate to the cost, or how much time do you need, or if you're located outside of the USA, whether you can you can sell there. So in addition to the cost of the program, which is going to be announced on Thursday when the doors open, you will need some additional funds to buy your inventory. And additionally, you'll need to have that inventory shipped to Amazon. So it's worth just budgeting that into your calculations. Now, if you remember in video 2, I showed you how I managed to source my travel mugs from a US-based supplier, which meant I didn't have to ship from China, which would have been a lot more expensive. A factory over there would have insisted on probably quite a large minimum order quantity, and then I would have had to send it by ship or by air, which would have also obviously cost me quite a lot more money. You then have to think about your product design, your branding, the cost of producing the product images, and maybe some packaging. Now, these tend to be a lot cheaper. Those that work with me will have access to some of my recommended designers. They tend to be freelancers that work in the Far East and Asia, and countries like that, or places like that. These guys you can hire for really nothing, $50 here, $100 there. It's really very, very cheap, but you need to obviously factorize that into your overall budget. A few people have asked me about time. Now, I should add that the guys that I'm currently mentoring all have day jobs, and all of them have managed to find enough time, usually an hour a day, a couple of hours a day, maybe 10, 15 hours a week. I mean, it is something you do need to do. You need to do the training, you need to learn the techniques, and you need to devote time to finding a product. And of course, you need to devote time to actually researching it, and then optimizing your product listing and having your your brand and everything designed, etc. So I would estimate, even for those that have day jobs, I'd say a good 10 to 15 hours a week initially is what you will need. The other question that keeps on coming up, can I do this if I live outside of the USA? Well, the answer is a big yes. Now, I'm obviously British. I don't live in the United Kingdom, but I live in Spain, and it's quite ironic that I live here, and invariably I don't touch my stock. I'm working with, for a large amount of the time, factories and suppliers in China, and I have them ship my stock to the United States or to the United Kingdom, and basically Amazon do the rest. So you really can be anywhere in the world. All you need is a bank account to be paid, or a method of obviously receiving the money that you generate from your sales on Amazon. And in Module 1 of ASM, for those people that don't live in the European Union or North America, there are one or two other solutions for those living in places like Australia or South Africa, or even in the Far East, in countries like Malaysia, places like that. I think we've got one or two students there. So there's always a solution, and not living outside of the USA doesn't mean that you can't move forward with this program. I just want to finish this video with just a brief outline of my mentoring program. If you hadn't gathered already, I'm actually an official joint venture partner for ASM, and that means that my services are free to those that join me or join up with me when the course is opened on Thursday. So if you are someone that would like to benefit from my help, and you think that some of the strategies and some of the things that I've learned could help you, then do look out for my emails, and make sure that if you do buy the course, that you do so with one of the links that I'm going to send you. The way it tends to work is like this. There are 8 modules in ASM, and each one is launched on a weekly basis, and there are generally action points in each one. And so you've got seven days to really do the work in each module. Now, what I like to do is just schedule a weekly Skype call with each member. I mean, you'd be free to email me whenever, but usually I give you as long as you want on Skype once a week, and you can ask any questions and just run your ideas and things by me. What it means is that you're unlikely to make a serious mistake. It's quite interesting looking back at some of the product choices that one or two of the mentees that I've had made in the early days. Now, if they'd gone off and chosen those products, they could have landed themselves in some pretty serious trouble as far as patents and copyrights and things like that were concerned. So I think it's been really useful for them. It's certainly been very, very useful for me. And of course, I do have a very, very good overview as to what's working. And most importantly, what type of products and in which categories you'd be best focusing on. Now, there's clearly some categories there that I'd advise you to not look at, and there's others where you definitely should. And I've got other resources and information which can make sure that you really do move forward in the right direction. So what you'll find by working with me is, in addition to ASM, you'll get the virtues of my experience, what I call non-ASM tips, and hopefully in these 3 videos you've seen some of them, how I've managed to source alternative suppliers. I've got some valuable keyword tools. I can guarantee you at least 100 reviews for any product that you launch. I've got some fantastic designers that can help you present your product in the right way. So really, by working with me, I can pretty much say that you're 99% certain to start making sales. That's pretty much the be all and end all of it. I'm very, very confident because I've seen it with the other guys. So what I'm going to be doing between now and launch day is sending you another video which gives you a little bit more detail as to what I'll be offering. In the meantime, if you've got any questions, do add me on Skype. It's ASM Secrets, or send me an email at chris@asmsecrets.com. And hopefully I'll be able to answer any questions that you might have. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching this series of 3 videos. I hope it's been very, very useful to you. You probably found this video because you've heard about the amazing selling machine by Matt Clark and Jason Katzenbach, and you're wondering if it actually works or not. Or you're a budding entrepreneur or internet marketer looking to give up your day job and work for yourself from home. The chances are you've already tried a whole raft of different programs and courses that promised untold riches but with little success. Well, the good news is that of all the internet business ideas you've ever come across, ASM is the one that definitely works. Better than that, I'm going to prove it, and will show you how I've made over $132,000 in my first 6 months selling on Amazon. Before I do so, however, here are a few things about me. My name is Chris Hawkins, I'm 44, and as you can tell from my accent, I'm English. I've lived in Spain for 12 years, and I used to sell real estate to expats on the Mediterranean. Now, thanks to ASM, I've been able to quit the property market and focus full-time on growing my Amazon business. Having only made my first sale in July 2013, I'm now on course to hit over $500,000 in revenue by the end of 2014. In short, my initial results have been nothing short of spectacular. But what is it that works exactly, and why? Selling your own branded products on Amazon is what works. In only 3 or 4 months, the ASM training taught me how to create, brand and market my own private label products. By understanding and controlling the wholesale process, including retail prices, I'm now making between 350 and 1,050% on every sale. This is because there are no other sellers competing with me to sell my products. My brands are trademarked, and only I'm able to sell them. This means that I'm not competing on price to make sales, and my margins are not being eroded. If you think about it for a moment, you know that selling on Amazon makes sense, because you've probably bought things on Amazon yourself. In fact, Amazon probably has your credit card details and your current address on file. That's because, like millions of other hungry buyers out there, you trust them. Last year, Amazon generated an incredible $75 billion in revenue, and a large proportion of that was generated by private label vendors like me. Unlike the latest online marketing fad or network marketing scam, you already know that selling on Amazon works. And with my help, you too can become part of the Amazon success story. Before I go any further though, let's take a peek inside my Amazon seller accounts so I can prove to you what a fantastic last 6 months I've had thanks to Amazon and ASM. Okay, so here we are inside my Seller Central account for Amazon.com. And this is showing us all of the sales that I've made for the 6 months from the 1st of August 2013. That was just after I made my first sale. All the way through until the beginning of last month, which was the 1st of March 2014. Now you can see here that in total I actually received 3,417 separate orders, which resulted in units of my products being sold 4,204, and the total sales value from those sales was $101,871.13. So on average, there were 1.23 units per order, and the average sales per order was $29.81. So that's for the USA. In the UK, if I select the same time period, that's the 1st of August 2013 to the 1st of March of this year, you can see there were 755 orders, resulting in 952 units of my products being sold, and the sales generated were £18,379 and 68 pence. Now, there's approximately 1.6 US dollars to an English pound, the British pound. And if you total those together, that's total revenue of just under $133,000 in 6 months. As you can see, these results are extremely encouraging. I don't believe there's ever been another online or work from home program where these results are possible. And best of all, with more products planned, my business just keeps on growing. Recently, I've also been mentoring a number of new members who joined me when ASM launched for the second time in October 2013. With my help and support, I'm pleased to report that all of these people are now making sales on Amazon. All have day jobs, and not one had ever sold private label products before. If you've watched the latest ASM videos, you probably now have some idea about the ASM strategy. Unfortunately, however, they don't provide you with any model examples. I'm sure that if you're thinking about joining ASM, you'd find it really useful to see a worked example. To help you, therefore, I put together a series of 3 bonus videos where I show you how I launched a new product in only 4 weeks with the aim of making sales prior to the launch of ASM in April 2014. In short, I'm going to show you how I selected my product using the new Profit Spotlight tool, why I chose a product in a super competitive niche, the secret tool I also use that tells me the approximate number of people searching Amazon to buy my product, how I sourced a US-based supplier, as well as how much I paid to buy my stock, how and why I chose my particular private label branding, how I got professional images to create just the right impression for only $150, how I got immediate reviews for my product without even making a sale, and most of all, how I started making daily sales within days of launching in March 2014. When you see these 3 videos, you'll see that with my guidance, making ASM work for you will be a near 100% certainty. In fact, If you're prepared to take action, make decisions and do the work, I pretty much guarantee it. The point is not if you'll make sales with ASM, but rather how many sales you'll make. And by working together, our aim will be to launch the next bestseller that will dominate its category. To watch the first video in this series, all you have to do is click the link below if you're watching on YouTube, or enter your name and email in the box on the right if you're watching on my website at asmsecrets.com. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Welcome to bonus video 2 in my series of the 3 bonus videos that I'm doing throughout this launch of ASM. Hopefully you've had time to watch video 1, where you see me choose a coffee mug, a travel coffee mug, as my next product. This video assumes that you've watched the first 2 videos that Matt and Jason should have emailed to you this week. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I found a US-based supplier for my travel mug. I'm then going to talk about the concept of differentiation, which is absolutely key to your success with selling on Amazon. And then I'm going to show you the logo and the brand that I've chosen for my travel mug. Now, the first thing that I'd recommend that you do is just make sure that you've got the PDF which came with the second video that Matt and Jason should have emailed to you yesterday. This is an extremely good document, actually. Sometimes I'm surprised with actually how much information they give away for free. Do read it, and do have a play with some of the searches. Here you can see, choose your product keyword, and then go look for a private label or a supplier or a manufacturer, and just see what comes up. Now, what you're likely to find are lots of search results from the Far East, from countries like China and India and places like that, and that's probably where you're going to find some of the best value inventory, and it's certainly where there's some big money to be made if you choose the right product and certainly the right supplier. One of the problems that I've experienced is in the delays. It takes seemingly a week or 10 days for samples to arrive. They can be quite expensive as well. I should actually warn you about that. I mean, just to order a sample from a supplier sometimes can cost anywhere between $50 and $150 to have it shipped to you by DHL or FedEx. So what I've managed to do is find some US-based suppliers who have already imported a very wide range of products which you can try. And it does mean that you won't be committed to very, very large minimum order quantities, which, if cash is short and you're not too confident with the system at the outset, maybe what you want to do is pay a slightly higher price per unit, but order a lower amount of stock. I'll come back to that later, but if we go to Google and remember that we're looking for a travel mug manufacturer, you can see exactly what I'm saying. Global Sources is a great website, actually, very, very impressive. And many of their advertisers are in fact from China and the Far East. Here's a link to Alibaba, and if I click on that, you can very quickly see that there's probably hundreds in this market, and they're all making or manufacturing a different range of travel mugs. But what I've managed to do is find, as I said, a US-based supplier that has done all this for us. They've actually imported container loads of stock, and they specialize in a particular segment of the US market, which I'm not going to identify here, but those that end up working with me will actually get this for free, and it is a site that I will recommend because I have used them. Now you can see here, these are travel mugs. If you're based in the US or North America, it's likely that you've seen this type of product before. And what you can actually do, you can see here it says buy as low as $2.17. Some of them are a bit more expensive because, you know, they're premium products, they're better quality. But you can certainly buy a lower quantity here and just invest in 100 units. So this one here, if you're looking to sell this travel mug, you know, you might be able to buy 100. Not as low as $2.17, that would be for a much larger purchase, but you could probably buy these for about $3, $3.50, something like that, and you might look to sell it for anywhere between 10 and 15. So it's a very good way of choosing a product to get started and get familiar with the ASM system. And if you can find or get one of these products actually selling, then what you would do is go back to Alibaba and find yourself the same product that you can buy at a much lower price, often less than $1. And the advantage of doing this is, of course, time. You can have this product chosen and designed and shipped to Amazon probably within 4 weeks, something like that. Okay, so now this particular site here is the one I used, and just as luck would have it, they don't have my product in stock, so I've had to go elsewhere and find another supplier. And all I wanted to do was just show you which particular product it is, and I managed to find it here. Again, it's a similar type of website, specializing in the same market. But this is a stainless steel travel mug. I like stainless steel. Stainless steel generally higher quality than, you know, plastic or acrylic, and of course, being metal, it has certain properties that other materials don't have, and they are properties, of course, which people expect to pay a little bit more for. So I've looked at this, I've done my research, and this is probably something that I can sell for between $10 and $15, and I have bought it already, I think for as low as $2.20 or $2.30. Okay, so now I've chosen my product, I want to move on to this question of differentiation. Now, one of the questions that I consistently ask the guys that I'm mentoring is, what reason are you going to give to your customer to buy your product? Now, clearly, if I put the stainless steel travel mug that I've chosen into Amazon, and I didn't brand it, and I didn't market it, and I didn't talk about its features or its benefits or its characteristics, the chances are it probably wouldn't sell very well. So this particular stage is critical to your success with Amazon. Now, in ASM, you will learn a number of really good techniques that relate to how to present your product, you know, how to optimize your product listing, as well as maximize the number of images and the quality of your presentation. So just to give you some ideas here of how you can do this, I'm going to give you 4 examples of products. I'm going to show you an ordinary type of product, and then I'm going to show you a variation or a better differentiation, just to really get you thinking along the right lines. And then after that, I'm going to talk about how I've differentiated my my travel mug. Now, all of these products are actually products that you can private label. So once again, I'm giving you an idea as to the type of product that you really should be looking at. Now, the first example is this set of 3 cutting boards, and here we have an example by a company called Norpro. There's 3 in a set. selling at $6.71. And with 518 reviews, you know they must have sold a fair few of these to get that many reviews. But the differentiator and a way that others have found to compete with this type of product is to actually come up with an eco-friendly or a biodegradable chopping board. And here you see 3 bamboo cutting boards in a set for more than double the price. So that's nearly $15. And with a bestseller ranking of 836 in kitchen and dining, and this product's doing extremely well. Now the next example is something which, if you can manage it, you could really make yourself some serious money. This is a standard rolling pin, and this type of concept, as far as a rolling pin concerns, has been around for years. It's something which my grandmother was using years and years ago. And it's interesting sometimes how certain products never evolve, and people just keep on buying them and expect the same. And then every so often someone comes along and changes the ball game. And there's a company out there which, if you're interested in this type of thing, are really, really worth researching. They're called Qzx909. And they've managed to come up with some really creative angles on what really are very sort of old, traditional, boring products. And I call it the revivalist way of differentiating stuff. Now if you can do this, you could be onto a real winner, because people are bored generally with what's out there. But this company have come along. They charge considerably more for what essentially is the same thing. And all they've really done is innovated this rolling pin by adding some of these silicone screw ends, which enable you to roll your pastry or your dough of various thicknesses. And they've also put some scaling on here, so you can measure what you're rolling. But they are a fantastic example of how to innovate or to take an existing product that everyone's forgotten about and just bring it into the 21st century. The third example is if you're American, you'll know all about this. We talk a lot about importing from the Far East, from India and China, and but there's also a group of consumers that are actually quite anti that market. They don't like to buy things that aren't American. So this here is the Norpro can opener, selling at $8.76. It's got a BSR of 2,300, so it's doing pretty well in kitchen and dining. And then you've got this one. This is a product which is specifically sold to appeal to those people that want something that's made in the USA. So it's not even a great example of marketing. As you can see, the packaging is very, very ordinary. It's very, very average, but it's selling at twice the price of the Norpro one, and with a bestseller ranking of 821, it's selling a lot better. It's actually a very good example of how you can take a very ordinary product, you can present it in a very ordinary way. I mean, if you actually go through the ASM training, you're going to learn to present your products much, much better than this. This is actually a very poor example, but it shows you that you really can still make money with a very, very ordinary product. So that's the made in USA differentiation. The final one is related. Here's an ordinary black t-shirt by a company you probably heard of called Fruit of the Loom. And they market on their quality. And generally, if you buy a Fruit of the Loom t-shirt, it's going to be pretty decent, 100% cotton and all that. But there's also a market for a bit of patriotism. There are many people that like to wear what I call messages on their t-shirt, and if there's one thing I know about Americans, they're very proud to be American, and that's why I've chose this particular theme for my travel mug. Now, the design that you see here on the screen is something that I've had my designer do, and you can see it's very simple. It just says American and proud, and it's got a nice graphical backdrop of the or stylized version of the stars and stripe. Now, I envisage this for the front of my travel mug, and on the reverse I've got the American eagle, which, as you probably know, is a symbol of all things American. And all I have to do now is order my product and ask my supplier to screen print this particular logo onto the travel mug. And once that's actually been done, this is what it looks like. Now, these images I've had digitized by a chap that I outsource this to, and again, anyone that chooses to work with me with ASM will have access to all of my contacts as far as designers and 3D modelers and renderers and people like that are concerned. But this is an extremely professional presentation of what is a very ordinary product, and all we've done is we've just tried to create a little bit of emotion. And recognizing that the market for travel mugs is extremely wide, what we're trying to do is just capture a very small percentage of it. I'm very aware that this type of product and this type of branding isn't going to appeal to everyone, but with 350 million people in the US, I'm quite sure that there is going to be a percentage who will be very happy to buy this product. I think the final thing, the objective here for me is to prove to you that with the ASM training and techniques, it's very easy to take what really is a very ordinary product and just differentiate it slightly, and then to prove to you that something like this will start selling in Amazon. And that will be what I intend to show you in the final part of this video series, which I should be releasing in about 4 or 5 days. Until then, thanks for watching. Welcome to the first of my bonus videos, where I intend to basically take you through the process of choosing a product which I'm going to create and launch prior to the release of ASM 3, which is scheduled for April in 2013. Now, I'm going to do this just a few weeks before the launch, because with this process and procedure and the techniques that I've learned, as well as a few extra bits that aren't in the course, I'm very confident that I can take a very ordinary product and actually get it selling pretty much within a few days, or certainly a week or so of launching. This particular video, it's designed to complement the first launch video, in which Matt talks about choosing a product, and in which he launches the new Profit Spotlight tool, which you can see here. And what it is, it's basically a list of the 100 top-selling products in the category kitchen and dining. Now, kitchen and dining is a fantastic category, and some of my students are having fantastic success with what are some very ordinary products. The idea here is to give you an idea of the sales volume and the daily sales revenue that are being generated by some of these products. Now, these have to be estimates because Amazon doesn't publish this data, but it does give you an idea of some of the numbers that you can expect should you be fortunate enough to have your product selling like these do. It's interesting looking down this list. There are even 1 or 2 ASM guys in this top 100. It wouldn't be fair of me to point out which ones they are, but there are 1 or 2 already doing extremely well, better than me actually, because they managed just to hit the right product at the right time, and you'd be really surprised that in just how ordinary these products are. But when you apply the techniques and the promotion tools that are given to you in ASM, you can really start seeing some fantastic numbers. As I said, my aim here is to find a product which is already selling very, very well. If we start at the top of the list, you've got things like the Br1T pitcher replacement filter. Now, these are clearly replacement filters for some sort of water jug. This is not the type of product that we're looking for, simply because most people looking for this particular product would have bought the Br1T water filter, and it's most likely that they're going to go and buy the replacement filter. So that's definitely not one that we're interested in. The second one, the Paderno World Cuisine. It's actually a vegetable slicer if you look closely. Although this is quite a good product, the way it's actually sold here, it's quite a heavy piece of equipment. The chances are, to make any serious money here, you'd have to buy this from the Far East, probably from somewhere like China, and you'd end up incurring quite considerable costs and quite significant delays in having it shipped from China. So as a first product, it's probably not the best choice. Same goes for these mason jars here. They're breakable. There's 6 in a pack. They're going to be quite heavy. And although there are probably a lot of people searching for pint jars for various reasons, again, this is not the type of product that we should be focusing on. The Black & Decker Dust Buster. Again, this is something which is dominated by a brand that we all know, Black & Decker. It's electronic goods are things that I tend to avoid, simply because they tend to be dominated by larger brands. But if we start to scroll down, there are one or two things that start to stand out. This is a digital thermometer by a company called Weber. This is something which would get my attention. It's quite light, it's quite small. It's selling at $9.99, so it's a little bit above Matt's criteria from the first video. And this would be fairly easy to private label and to brand. Equally, scrolling down, by the same company, we've got this this barbecue grill brush. And once again, it's quite small, it's quite light, quite easy to find this type of product, and quite easy to put your own label on it. Same goes for this scarf holder. This thing seems to sell hundreds by the day. It's something that I've looked at in the past. Although I would add, I have actually ordered that product, and its quality is very poor. And it still amazes me that it still manages to sell so well, and it's got a ranking of 26. But anyway, just to get on with the purpose of this video, the product that's got my attention is in fact this one here, and it's something which you've definitely seen before. It's a stainless steel travel mug. Now, I like to look at these products very, very logically. And when I'm looking for a product, I ask myself, is this a product which many, many people are probably buying? Now, I'm not American and I don't live in the United States, but if I know one thing, I know that coffee for many people, and the ability to drink coffee on the move, the ability to quickly refill when you're in Starbucks or McDonald's, or wherever it happens to be, I know this is pretty obvious, and this is a big, big market. So, of all the ones on this page, this is the one which I'm going to investigate a little bit further. Okay, so having chosen a stainless steel travel mug, which is selling extremely well in the top 100 in the kitchen and dining category, what I'm going to do now is examine the subcategory for this particular product, and what I'm looking for is really some sort of confirmation that this product is in high demand. Now, there is quite a strict set of criteria which Matt provides in the ASM training. Now, for obvious reasons, I'm not at liberty to share that. But just to really give you the gist, what I'm looking for is a selection of brands here which are selling very, very well. Now, you can see that this brand here, Qzx909 Autoseal, seem to dominate the market, and they've something like 4,500 reviews or more for this product. I know Matt says in the first video to avoid categories or avoid products in categories where the reviews are over, I think it's a few hundred he talks about, but I want to prove to you that even if you do try and compete in this market, you will still make sales. Okay, so we saw the Thermos mug there. Thermos mug selling at I think it had a bestseller ranking of 90, 91, something like that. And if we go into this particular one, we'll be able to see that it has a bestseller ranking of 253. So this is not quite selling as well, but it's certainly selling pretty well to have that ranking, and it's under the 500, which Matt pointed out in his video. If we go down to this one, the fourth one, the Copco Acadia reusable travel mug, we can see this also has a ranking of 265, so that one's also selling well. The fifth one, I'm not sure how you pronounce this, but it's the Zoirushi stainless steel travel mug. It's $29.95. So again, there appears to be various price points in this market. Some tend to be under $10, but clearly some people are willing to pay a lot more for something that appears or is of higher quality. And again, you can see the rankings 278. So within a very, very short space of time, we can see that travel mugs are something which many different people are buying. We've confirmed the different pricing points, and logically we know that this type of product makes sense. It's something which you've seen many, many times before, I'm sure, and looking at it, it's something that I'd be fairly confident of selling. Okay, the final stage of the process is to confirm with keywords that people are using to find the product that you've identified on Amazon. So what we're looking for is some sort of evidence that people are going to Amazon and they're typing in keywords which clearly relate to your type of product. Well, we've already ascertained that we're looking at travel mugs or tumblers. And here's a tool that I found extremely useful. Now for people that join me at ASM, I'll actually be giving this away free for the first 6 months. It's not something which is in the official ASM training, but I found it absolutely invaluable because what it does, it gives you an idea of the variety of keywords or key phrases that potential customers are typing into Amazon to find your product. And as you can imagine, when you use these keywords to optimize your product listing, it does mean that your product has a chance of being found in searches for these keywords. So it's a very, very powerful tool, and it's one that I've used consistently to drive extra traffic to my product listing. And obviously extra traffic means more sales. So we can see here, by typing in travel mug and sorting by the high search volume first, there are 404,000 searches per month for travel coffee mug. There's actually 182,000 for travel mug. And if we go down, you can see a very, very large variety of search volume for this market. So when you see this breadth, I mean, there are hundreds of options here. This is telling you that this market is very, very wide, and many people are looking for different types of travel mug, and they're also looking for that product using very many different variations of keyword. Okay, so really I've got all the information I need now to really confirm that I'm looking in the right direction, and that by launching my own private label travel mug is a very, very good idea. Okay, so just to summarise what we've looked at in this first bonus video, I started off by showing you how the new Profit Spotlight tool can give you some very, very good ideas and opportunities to start with. We then looked at Amazon, and we looked at the bestseller rankings for similar products in the kitchen and dining category. Thirdly, we asked ourselves the question, is this type of product logical? Can we be sure that on the balance of probabilities there are hundreds, thousands or millions of people that really are interested in this type of product? And as a travel mug, we know that people drink coffee and tea every day, so it's fairly logical that there's going to be high demand for this type of product. Fourthly, we saw that there was a huge range of different products available, and rather than being fearful or assuming that this product somehow has already been done and running away, what we're actually trying to do is get a small percentage, at least initially, of what is a very, very large market. So we're not at all in fear of the competition that's already out there. And in that respect, we're not avoiding a big market. We're actually going to go for it. We're going to launch a product and we're going to brand it. It's going to have its own advantages, its own benefits, and we're going to try and compete in this big market. And finally, what we did, we confirmed that this market really has a lot of possibilities for us, because with some of the techniques and the training that you'll learn in ASM, you'll learn how to compete for all these different key phrases and keywords, which in fact many of the larger competitors probably have no idea of. All right, and therein lies our advantage. So once again, thank you very much for watching this. I'm sorry it went on for quite some time. I'll look forward to seeing you in video 2.